Good evening, good evening, good evening. Come into the J Spot, replacing your G Spot every Thursday from 6 to 7, giving you real relationship talk, real relationship drama with the best night of your life. Your host, Jay, and Simply E, hold on, get ready to enter the J Spot on IntellectualRadio.com.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to the best night of your life. Woo! You have entered the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time, on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay, and sitting next to me, we have my co-host, my partner in crime, Pretty Precious Bonner. Hey, Precious.
Hey, Jay. Hey, everybody.
How you doing tonight? Wait, no, how y'all doing tonight? You
I know.
You see, she's trying to show out for y'all tonight. You know, I ain't mad though.
I was dope. I let Simply E dress me today, and she dressed me like it was 90 degrees instead of snowing. So appreciate that, E. Holla at you.
Well, thank you so much for being here. Sitting next to Pretty Precious Bonner, we have a friend of the J Spot. Motivational speaker, author, energy expert, reader, Mr. Walter Beckley. How are you, Walter?
I am excellent. Great to be here.
Good. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Oh, you're welcome. So good.
Good. Thank you for being here. Oh, yes. And you know what? This topic tonight is definitely going to probably tap into,
You came fully prepared.
Lot of
I'm learning
things.
stuff
So
today.
I look forward to learning. I look forward to, if I need to be read, I'm definitely open to just a tad bit of that. I just don't want too many secrets to spill, because people may not be able to handle, all the spillage that will come from down yonder these parts. But I'm going to give you a chance to introduce and tell everything that you have going on in a brief moment. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you so much, the J Spot. Thank you, Grown and Sexy Conversations with Jay. Thank you, 180 Real Talk Chicago. Thank you, 30 and Up Doing Us. Tyson Smith, thank you so much. Thank you, Pit Life and Pit Life Queens, Caprice Washington, Prez, all your aliases. Thank you all so much. Please go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Also follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot Radio. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. Precious, tell everybody what you have going on. Did you have something coming up next week?
So I did, but my business partner has some issues going on right now, so we had to cancel, which is okay. It's okay. I still get a little mini break in there, so I'm okay with that. Right now, it's just 180 Real Talk Chicago. Of course, the J Spot guys, share the link. Invite your friends, invite your mama, invite your pastor. Don't care. Invite them to watch the video and chime in. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Now, wait, are you going to see Terrence when you go down there?
Of course.
So, what's the name of those little treats that you guys special? It's a sweet dessert.
The praline candy.
And it was it's like something cake.
Oh, the beignets.
Yes. So can I get about 2 or 3 of those?
Terrence, she said, can she get 2 or 3 beignets up out of you?
Can I get some of yours? And don't eat them all the way on the way back.
I don't like mine homemade. I like mine from Cafe Du Monde.
Really?
So, yeah, I don't like the homemade.
But I've never had them, so at this point I can't be choosy, because I just
we got to go to New Orleans. Then that's what we got to do. We'll do that. We can do that for my birthday.
Okay.
We can go to New Orleans for my birthday.
Well, when you go, I just need you to put it like a couple.
No, you got to go
purse.
You got to go to.
Hang on, yeah, get down. Okay. I see. Because I had a dream, like you guys painted such a vivid picture on how these things taste, that I'm just like, I need to find out what's going on. Like, I'm the only one that's missing.
Oh, see, have you had beignets before?
Yeah, I was down in New Orleans about 7 years ago.
See what I mean? You got to go to New Orleans. You can't just have them. You have to go to New Orleans and get them.
Okay, I'm going road trip, because I don't have any dependents, so I can definitely do that. Wait a minute.
I don't understand.
I was free.
I'm saying.
Oh my God. You know what? Now wait. Now what, Walter? What's so funny is because I'm an empty nester now, kinda, And I didn't deal with that so well. Like, I mean, it really it messed me up. Last year, I was around this time, I was a mental wreck because my son graduated from high school, and I started saying, "Man, maybe I should have had two, spaced them out a little bit." But then, when they growing up, you can't wait till they get out. But then, as it got closer, I'm like, okay, well, you know what? Can I just revert back to his sophomore year? Just give me 2 more years and let me get a chance to get myself together. And
you don't want to go back there.
No.
Yeah, I know, but I wasn't ready. Walter, I got a dog. Because I wasn't ready. And then
now, do you still have a dog?
I can't answer that on air because everybody really don't know the truth. I have a lot of secrets, and I'm just not, no. Okay, because she wasn't what I thought she was gonna be. Like she was me and a dog. I'm like, wait a minute, it's too much of. It was too much of all that, and I say we both can't live under the same roof doing this. Yeah. So flip a coin, somebody got to go.
So who left?
I had to. Oh God, and I hate you all. I'm just not wrapped up for it. I thought that I could do it. I wanted to do it. I loved her as long as I could, and then I started thinking, what if I had a kid? Who was I going to give that joker back to? Who was home?
Some people are just not pet people. I tell people all the time, I don't do animals. I barely.
You don't like pets?
No, for what? That's a whole nother being that I have to feed and take care of. No, thank you.
I mean, like I say, has she? And I'm gonna get another dog though. Don't get me or something, because I can't do the fishes because they don't really, they die so fast. Like you put a few drops of extra food up in there, you come back, the fish tank foggy. You like,
I'll make
what
you laugh.
happened between now and breakfast?
Fish. I've killed so many fish, and it's never intentional. Before you pet people jump on me, I overfeed them or I underfeed them, and I'm like, if it's that hard for me to keep you alive via food, the one thing I'm good at, man, you just not meant to coexist together.
It's like, it's so much. My thing is, I had the betta fish. Now, those are fighting fish. Now, those fish can last for a long time. Now, it was trial and error for me to figure out how these fish coexist. When I bought it from the store, nobody told me, hey, you can't put two bettas in the same, they got to be separate because they're fighting fish. So came home from work one day, it was just one fish. The other fish, like, wait a minute. I know when I left home. Yeah. Oh. I'm like, I know when I left home, it was two fish. It was a red one and a blue one. Came back home, it was just a blue one. Like, what happened to the red one? No way, he wasn't up under the debris or anything. So I went to the store. I'm like, okay, what happened? They're like, oh, you can't put them in the same tank. I'm like, okay, well, thank you for telling me. I had hysterical kids coming in. Look, Auntie, where the fish at? So, I'm showing off the fish, and now the champ is just left.
See, too much work.
It's like, and then, okay, so I'm like, okay, that's fine with that. And then, so I feed him. Shouldn't have fed him because he was apparently already full. Come back the next day, he floating upside down. I'm like, okay, God, what am I doing? So then I looked and read the directions after, after his untimely, passing. And I found out you was only supposed to give him 2 pebbles of food, not just sprinkle it up.
See, you the person that try to put the bookcase together first and then read the directions.
You know what? Yeah, because it seems like it's just so much easier to do it that way. But it just does not work out.
Just get a person, have a baby. They at least tell you what they want after they get like 1 or so.
No, but with all that crying, because see, when I had my son, I love him. He's 20, but that first 6 months, listen, I didn't know if I was going to make it because he cried. Like, wasn't nothing wrong with him. I'm just looking at him like, really? Like, what?
He was your son.
And to think I was going to do that again. Like, I mean, first I had a horrible pregnancy, and then, he really tested my patience, from 0 to 6 months with all that crying. So I'm just like, once I got past that phase, I'm like,
can't go there again.
I'm not really sure what you want me to do. So then when I see people that have multiple children, I have the utmost respect.
Person you will ever meet, and my children are an exact reflection of me. My son wasn't a big crier. My daughter, she wasn't a big crier. They were like, look, and even to this day now, my son is just like, leave me alone. He's very hands off. He's like that. My children are so independent. I love it, and that's why I don't like other people's kids, because when other people's kids come around, they want to tell you they hungry and stuff. And my kids know when they hungry, they go get stuff. My son can cook. Make bacon, eggs, grits, and pancakes. Like, we don't have these issues in my house. So I don't do other people's kids. Like, we good.
And see, when I babysit, like, I'm the only one that has one child. So, I have the patience and the mental capacity for one kid.
Child.
So, like, when I babysit my nieces and my nephews, and there's multiple children, you don't want to play favorites. Okay, well, this one could come. So here's what you have to do. I say, hey, flip a coin. I don't care. Whatever I call, whoever get what I call, that's who coming. We have to take them in sections. You don't want to play fair. So I'm like, listen, I don't care who comes. The first one to get their bag that's out the door, that's who wins. Because I don't want to. But we can't. Can we come? No.
Yeah, it's so funny because I was raised as a child, so I didn't do sleepovers. My cousins would want to come stay the night. I'd be like, I'm going to need you to ask my daddy. Don't ask my mama, because my mama going to say, yeah, ask my daddy, because he going to say no.
See, now that the kids are older, though, like, now I can rock with them. Like, hey, we can all come on. And now with
themselves no more.
Man, but them little ones that still, man, like, I remember I was in church and I had somebody with me. I'm out the door. I'm like, dang, why am I forgetting something? Why? I'm not gonna say the child's name because the sister ain't gonna let me keep the kid. But I had to run back in the church. I'm like, dang, she in a little tight church. She in the little kids' church, and I'm almost, I'm in the car, and I'm like, dang, what am I forgetting? I'm like, oh shoot, the little baby got run back up in the church.
You know what? I'm gonna see how I do, because I'm taking my babies on their first cruise at the end of the year. We're going to the Bahamas.
Oh.
So they're going on their first cruise. So I'm very interested to see how this works out, because I've already paid for the kids stuff, and I'm like, they have their own little budget set up with their little cards, 9 and 11.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just like, look, this means I can get the drink package, and I'm gonna let y'all go do what y'all do, and I'm gonna go do what I do, and we're gonna coexist peacefully. I'm gonna just make sure we don't go nowhere. We're gonna be on the ship.
Well, we're gonna take a short musical break, and when we return, we're gonna get into our first social media hot topic. So that topic is, if you have a significant other, would you accept an expensive gift from someone else while you're in a relationship? Think about it. You're listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time, on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. Hey, everybody.
No, anybody love me. You are the one that lives in me, my dear. I should never feel lonely. You don't ever wanna spend some time. I want your love in every drop of a dime. You see me calling, you should come running. Quit all that stalling, my body's calling. I got no time, what about all the time? This could be so perfect for one hell of a night. If you got a secret ease, any call in my club. I just wanna slow this on you, baby, we can turn it up. You had to change, no second chances. This love I have is not for play. Under no circumstances, I'm in need of romancing. Pick up the phone, 'cause I get so lonely. Can't let no anybody love me. You are the one that lives in me, my dear. I should never feel lonely. Lately your love has been on my mind. Obviously busy, I wanna unwind. Fantasizing, thinking about you. Imagine all. Anticipating is about to go down. I get so lonely. Don't leave me waiting up for you. catch a chance. No second chances. This love I have is not for play. Under no circumstance, I'm in need of romance. And pick up the phone, 'cause I get so. I get so.
Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation at a time on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay, and sitting next to me, we have my co-host, my partner in crime, Pretty Precious Bonner. Hey, Precious.
Hey, Jay.
How
hey,
y'all doing?
Everybody.
You got Precious sitting here with the twins. How everybody doing over there?
We're good now.
You know what, you all, let me tell you something. When Precious came through the studio, she sashayed up in here. And when I saw you sashaying through here, I immediately thought of, remember Sandra of 227? Hey, Mary. I'm like, she's sitting up here. I say, what? Now, where is all this sunshine at? She up in here with open-toe shoes. I'm like, can I go where you just came from? Because where I came from, it was snowing outside and it was cold. And she's sashaying up in here. I said, you know what? They going to get you tonight.
I do not have the luxury of having to pick out my own clothing. So good job. Thank you, E. Appreciate it.
E and Alvin, they are out tonight, but we have a friend of the J Spot. We have Mr. Walter Beckley sitting in with us tonight, author, motivational speaker, energy reader. Are you a sex expert?
Absolutely.
Okay, he's a sex expert as well. So we're going to give Walter a chance to explain his books, how you can get in contact with him and how you can purchase his books and how you can definitely contact him to read your energy and give you a couple of tips so y'all don't have to go out there and buy all up the blue pills and stuff. Do you recommend that first before I start? Okay.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
So it's based on definitely developing the energy inside so you don't have to use the blue pill.
Do me a favor, speak into the mic because I want everybody to be able to hear
here's my new
this
book
great
right
information that you have.
This book here is based on the 9 steps that men can take so they don't have to take a pill. That they can build their own energy and they can learn to be multi-orgasmic at the same time.
Wait a minute, explain that.
That's when you get more than one.
That's right. Say it again. I like that definition.
That's when you get more than one.
So who gets more than one? He does or they both do?
They both do.
Can, yes, at that point.
So how can they pick that book up, Walter?
It's available on Amazon, or you can go to buildyoursexualstamina.com.
Okay, now tell everybody about your services as far as how you read energy and things of that nature.
All right. I'm the founder of Radiant Living, and it's radiantliving.com. And what we do there is help people to feel good. So it's how to tap into your energy so that you can release the stress and the trauma that's inside of you so that you can get more of the things that you want out of life. So everybody has this potential inside, but it's being blocked from certain things that we've gone through in our life. And so reading energy for me is something that I've done pretty much most of my life, just didn't know it. I think we all do in certain ways, but we have to learn how to tap into it, how to cultivate it and grow it in the right way so that we can understand what it is that we're looking at. It's almost like when children, they look at all the various colors, but they don't know the colors until they learn to tap in and you show them exactly this is red, this is blue, and they go over it a few times, and the same with energy. So you start to learn about energy. First, you have to learn how to feel the energy. Once you're able to feel the energy, then you can start to distinguish from good and not so good energy. Okay? So this is one of the things that we do is teach people how to activate, cultivate, and also move with their energy so that they can actually utilize that energy in their life.
So what is one way to exude more positive energy, especially if you've had a stressful day? What is a technique that one could use on a day-to-day basis to put out and receive more positive energy opposed to keeping all the stress of life in that day bottled up in them?
Well, a simple thing that people can do is learn to breathe. I know everybody breathes, but learning to breathe, it seems like it would be something that you're doing already, but there's a way to breathe that's really good and nourishing to the body. Then there's a way to breathe which actually affects and stresses the body. And so when we learn to breathe correctly, we're actually breathing really low in the abdomen area, and we're also connecting with source. And when we start to feel this source, it feels like warmth. It feels like heat emanating from the lower, what we call dantian, just below the navel area. And so when you feel this center, it makes you a little more alive, makes things more palpable in your body and also out. So you can actually sense more of the things that are going on. So and that's what happens when I have this energy very strong inside. I can actually sense what other people are doing in their body. So even from across the room and even over the phone, I can sense it. Starts from, they call this in science, they refer to the abdomen area as a second brain. So we got this brain, the thinking brain. This is the sensing brain, the abdomen area.
And so is that where the term that gut feeling?
That gut feeling, absolutely. Yeah, you right on.
See, I learned. So now, Walter, how can they get in contact with you to purchase your books and then also to make an appointment if someone is interested in learning how to relieve some of the pressures and the cares of life through energy techniques and things of that nature and getting it up on how to learn that, let's just be real. I mean, some people, especially in a certain age bracket, things start to, go
Not
a little,
Right.
and not work the way it once did in younger years. So Walter can definitely help you all to achieve the pleasure mount, as I like to
Right.
call it, that
Well-
pleasure principle. He can help you achieve that without having to go and, take pills and do all those other things that, really are harmful in other areas.
All right. So one of the ways you can go to is radiantliving.com. You can also reach me at 708-481-9128. And also, if you're in a bad relationship and you're wondering how you can get to the next level in your relationship or even get out of the relationship, you can visit me at inabadrelationship.com. The whole ideal is to feel good in life. And so we have what we call the feel good method. So in the feel good method, we're looking at how it is that you can tap into the anger, the frustration, the things that are stopping you in your life, and then actually turn that around. So you can go to inabadrelationship.com and also radiantliving.com. If you just want some general information, go to radiantliving.com, and there you'll see a lot of the things that we offer on the website, the different classes. We have very basic classes all the way through advanced classes. I've been in this work for a little over 30 years, and I'm also certified as a counselor, certified as a teacher of these arts, which come out of India and studied with masters out of China, in Thailand, and I've been to Brazil, studied with many teachers there to understand the inner workings of the mind, the body, and how we can feel better in life and get the things that we want. There's 10 pillars also I'm going to share with you that we have to get balance in our lives. Everybody works with them, whether they know about them or not. They're basically about relationships, about the mind, and about the emotions. Those are basic three. And then after that, you're getting into your physical health, and you're also getting into your sexual energy, which is
I like that.
definitely relationship that we can be in a good relationship with or a bad relationship with. Then there's also your career and your lifestyle. And then there's your overall energy, overall sense of well-being, as well as your spiritual aptitude and ability to come into balance and to awaken this around. And so these different levels that we're interacting with, most of the time, nobody has taught us how to actually be in a relationship with these qualities, with these types of experiences that we have. So pretty much we're just out there kind of testing the water here. It works, don't work. Relationships work, don't work. And then we're frustrated. And so a lot of times people say, I won't get into relationships. I'm just going to have fun. And, relationships are very, very powerful. They're a way that we can finally find a sense of relaxation, sense of openness, sense of value and worth inside of relationships. So a lot of times when we say we don't, those are some of the things that are missing. So I hope people refine and redefine what it is that they want so they can get more of that energy, more of that quality that they really seek in life so that they can get out of life what they want. And so the ideal is that rather than having life to misuse or handle them, that you learn to handle life.
So now, upon exiting a bad relationship, what is one tip that you can give to somebody on how to kind of shake that negative vibe from that bad relationship before entering a new relationship? Like, what's one thing that a person should do to ensure that they don't carry that same negative energy from the previous relationship?
Yeah. Well, it's two things I would say. Actually, it's three things. I'm gonna give you three things here. One is to identify and really acknowledge what you feel that's going on in your body. So if you're angry and you feel frustration about that, identify that. Two, find somebody that you can talk to about it, not just somebody who's going to agree that it's okay to feel this way. And the third one is to figure out a new direction, what it is that you really want to do now that you're not in that relationship. If you're ready to move on, identify what that is and set that goal. Don't go out and do that goal the next day. Give yourself a chance to really get over those feelings that you've identified that are still holding you, that still have, like times people get in a
Jay.
relationship and they hate that person and they want to fight that person still. And so anytime it comes up, you're with a new person and you may even run at the old person. You see them, you're ready to attack them or call them on the phone. Or if they call you, anytime they come in that vicinity.
Walter, I think Jay needs some assistance today,
Oh, yeah.
Because now at first there was once upon a time, there was a person that would just hearing their name would just make me kind of cringe.
Right.
But now I'm getting a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the thing I will tell you on the way here, and I'm debating on what to do about this. So I was invited to go somewhere. And so I'm not really sure on should I go, because I felt like there's going to be an announcement made that I may not want to hear. Like, I don't know if this guy is going to ask somebody to marry him at this event, and I don't want to hear it. Like,
Okay.
if he does, that's fine, but I just don't feel like I'm in position.
How long ago was that you were in relationship with this guy?
We weren't really in a relationship. So
okay, so there's a connection though.
Right.
Why go?
Because it's a good opportunity, but and it's not even anything intimate like that. But back to what Walter was saying, my gut is telling me that it's something else that's gonna take place at this event, and I'm not really sure if I should go.
One of the things I work with my clients with is something I call handling it. So handling it is about being able to identify, like you are right now, but the next stage is being able to take that energy and do what you want. So my question to you would be simply, what do you want to do with that energy? Do you want to keep holding on to that energy, or are you ready to let it go?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. A little bit of both. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I mean, I felt like I had let it go, and then I'm just like, okay, well, why am I feeling like this? Like, I don't, because I'm just like, listen, if you say something that I don't want to hear, it's probably not gonna be good for like the whole situation.
Yeah.
And, I've been redeemed, Walter. I mean, I used to jump up out of bushes and hide in bushes and do things like that. But I no longer, because physically I just don't, I don't have the stamina to be down there in the bushes 2 or 3 hours looking to see, so that's partly why I'm redeemed, because I just can't do it no more. I don't have the time, can't run after you, over here. He said he gonna be over here. Wait a minute, he ain't there.
Yeah.
So I don't have the energy or the time to do that anymore.
And see, I'm an avoider. Like, I just wouldn't go. Like, I don't feel the need. Like, if I know that it's a situation that I possibly wouldn't be happy with something that would happen, I just wouldn't go. Like, what's the point?
Right.
But again, and then it's a thing in my mind. It could just be in my mind because I know me. So I know sometimes I can teeter, the click. I have a little click up in there. I recognize and I acknowledge that I have a few little clicks and ticks that, have to be adjusted. So, need just a mental tune up, I know that.
Yeah. See, one of the things also really hard, and we do this a lot in the community, and that is that I think of it like a computer. So when your computer breaks down, it's really hard for the computer to fix itself.
Right.
So you get somebody else to work on your computer and bring it back in alignment, and you can do all the things you wanted to do with your computer. See, in our lives also, we have to have people that can help us come back in alignment too. Because we break down and then we try to fix ourselves.
Right.
And so that thing that broke down inside of you, you're trying to use those same mechanism to fix yourself. And I hear a lot of times people say, oh, I've already forgiven this. I went through this. And then we do the work and they realize, oh, they never forgave the person.
Well, I'm not gonna go that far. I swept it under the rug. But we have a caller. I'm gonna get back to letting Walter dissect me. We have a caller on the line. Hey, this is Jay speaking. Hey, how are you?
How are you?
Good. David?
Yes, David.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Good. You all, we have Davette Franklin and Dakota on the phone. They are here to talk. They're on the phone tonight to talk about the new play that is coming out actually tomorrow, correct? Called Hero.
Yes, my hero.
Okay, do me a favor, Davette. Tell us a little bit about the play.
Essentially, the play is about a young woman who visits a man who saved her life 9 years ago, and she learns from that experience that not everything is as it seems. That's as much as I'll give away. It's really about the whole plot.
Right. So, everyone got to come see it.
Okay, so now where did the concept for the play come from?
Actually, about a year ago, I got this idea about a relationship between two people who have been estranged in more than just like a family way. Estranged in a way that connects them, not in being a relative, but in another way. And I got this idea of what if it was a connection of saving somebody's life.
Now, where is the play taking place?
At the Pendulum Space in Chicago, Illinois.
1803 West Byron Street.
1803. What's that address again? 1803
West Byron Street.
1803 West Byron Street. And how can they pick up tickets?
And it's in Suite 216. So make sure that you all ring that buzzer for 216. And the tickets can be bought at myhero.brownpapertickets.com.
Now, Davette, tell me a little bit about your company and what it is that you do. Das Franz, your organization. What do you all do?
So Das is an entertainment production company that specializes in like theater work. So what we do is we help new playwrights and new actors build their resumes. So it's a really cool thing to help, like, even like this playwright here, he's new to Chicago. So just helping anyone, whether they're new from Chicago or just new to the acting or play scene in general, we just help everybody. So whether you're a new playwright or a new actor, just contact Downtown Entertainment and we'll be ready to help.
And give them your social media information, how they can get in contact with you.
You can get in contact with me via Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram just by typing in Downtown Entertainment, and that is DAVJASFRAN Entertainment.
Now, Dakota, how long have you been writing plays?
Actually, I've been writing really ever since I was little. I growing up from 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, I would write little 1 or 2 page scenes. And then I acted in my first play in 2007. And I was immediately bit by the acting bug. And it mainly concentrated on acting. And then in my last year in college, 2 years ago, we had to take a directing class. And we had to direct a one-act for a one-act festival that we had at the end of all of our school year. And I immediately fell in love with directing. And I thought, what a better way to develop more of my writing skills by writing plays and directing them.
Now, what word of advice would you give to someone that was looking to break into the playwriting, directing industry? What word of advice would you give to someone?
That you're not going to be great when you first start out. You're going to write a lot of crap before you get to write a good play. I'm still writing. I can look at a play of their own and go, I could probably make it a little better. And you do get a little better each time you write something. It's all about practice. It's all about writing, but you got to keep writing. You can't stop. You got to keep writing, keep writing, keep writing. Anything in the art, you have to keep going. No matter how terrible your last experience was, you have to keep forging ahead. And that's how you can make it in this industry. You have to keep going.
Be flexible.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta be flexible in theater. Like everything can go wrong, but you just gotta, like you said, you gotta keep going, and you just gotta be flexible.
Now, if you were not writing plays and directing plays, what would you be doing, Dakota?
Oh, I'd probably be acting.
Be acting.
Mm-hmm. Still the theater realm, but I'd definitely be acting.
Okay.
And I still act every once in a while, but directing and writing is my main goal now.
Now, give that information again for the play and how people can get in contact with you all and how they can grab tickets, and also give me the dates.
Okay. You can get the tickets at myhero.brownpapertickets.com. The address is 1803 West Byron Street, suite number 216. So when you get to that door, press 216, we'll buzz you right in. And the performances are April 6th, which is tomorrow, 13th, and the 27th, all at 8:30 at the Pendulum Space in Chicago.
And how can people get in contact with you, Dakota?
Through, I guess,
your social media info?
Yeah, actually, you can always get in contact with me through Facebook. If you ever want to just leave a comment, Dakota William Boston, that's DAASSEN, drop me a message and I can give you any information that you want.
Awesome. David, give your information again on how people can get in contact with you, your social media info.
All righty. So that is Fun Entertainment. That is DADJASFRAN Entertainment. We'll be waiting for all those replies and comments.
Okay, well, thank you all so much for joining us. We're definitely going to have the information posted on our page at the J Spot. Also, we're going to have it on our Twitter page at J Spot, and also on Instagram at the J Spot Radio. And Jay is spelled JAYE for all three. We'll also have the link for the play My Hero on those pages. So thank you so much, David, and thank you so much, Dakota. Best luck with your play, and we definitely will be there to support.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all so much. We're going to take a short musical break, you all, and when we return, our hot topic: should you accept an expensive gift from someone, especially if you're in a relationship? Now, someone on social media asked, how expensive is the gift? Do it matter? If as long as it is expensive and they bought it for me, they were giving it to me, so I want it. Is there a problem with that? You're listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time.
I wake up early in the morning, put some breakfast on my stomach. Time to go get to the money, so I can make it for my mama. And pray my dad ain't gotta bury me. I know to y'all it's just a fantasy, but every day it's a reality. So please don't judge or get mad at me when we throw our hands up in the air, put our lighters up in the air, blow the smoke up in the air, middle fingers up in the air. So keep them bottles up in the air, let the sparklers light up the air. Raise your glass up in the air, everything going up, and pray we never come down, 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 never come down, 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 never come down, no, 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 never come down, and pray we never come down, 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 never come down, 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 never come down, no, 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 never come down. wanted to be famous. All I wanted was to sing and make some money. Now I got half of the Windy City hating on me. Niggas call me Brody, but really ain't my homie. Man, this shit is crazy. Tryna make it to the top, let's get a little profit to feed my babies. Since I'm here now, it ain't no stopping, I'm top of the playlist. I earned my stripes, claiming my side, it was Nico, baby. It's Nico, baby. So we put our hands up in the air. Put our lighters up in the air. Blow the smoke up in the air. Middle fingers up in the air. So keep them bottles up in the air. Let the sparklers light up the air. Raise your glass up in the air. Everything going up. And pray we never come down, down, down. Never come down, down, down. Never come down. Never come down. And pray we never come down, down, down. Never come down, down, down. Come down. Never come down. My best friend lost his mama. So who the coke am I to tell him? Turn down when he flexing. And not to turn up when he's stressing. Ain't got the answers, we just guessing. So we roll up and ask questions. My bro told me count your blessings and pray to God for protection. So we put our hands up in the air, put our lighters up in the air, blow the smoke up in the air, middle fingers up in the air. So keep the bottles up in the air. Let the sparklers light up the air. In the air. Raise your glass up in the air. In the air. Oh. And we never come down, down, down. Never come down, down, down. Never come down. Never come down. And pray we never come down.
Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jaye, and sitting next to me, we have my co-host, my partner in crime, Pretty Precious Bond. Hey, Precious.
Hey, Jay. Hey, everybody.
And next to Pretty Precious Bonner, we have Walter Beckley. He's sitting in with us tonight. He's a motivational speaker, sex expert, energy reader, author, and he's going to help me to just adjust and probably address just a couple of the mental tics that I have. I don't want to fix all of them because, I like them. Those tics just make me who I am. So I can't fix all of them because then if I fix them all, then it just means perfect. A shell.
Well, which one do you want to fix?
I don't know. It's too many of them. I'll find the least, the nosy one. Maybe that one.
Okay. You want to work on that one?
A little bit.
A little bit. Come on over here.
Just a little bit. I can't because then I'm not gonna have my mic.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna do it towards the. Take the phone mic, and then they're gonna be looking all at my booty. We're gonna do that after. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
Let me train chairs with you.
We're gonna do it. What? Take the phone mic. Yeah, he's gonna help me with a tick.
Let me put my glasses on so I can really see. Okay. I want to make sure I can really see. Let's see. He said you need this. Wow.
The producers say I need this helping. So Walter is gonna help me with one of my tics.
All in the camera. Hey. Booty, rocking everything. Okay, I quit.
Let me get you to hold the mic.
Mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
All right. She's gonna hold the mic.
Precious gonna hold the mic.
I'm gonna hold it so y'all can hear.
She's gonna hold it.
So you're gonna face me though.
Okay.
All right. So what's going to happen is you can sit that down.
Oh, let me sit that down.
And this is about.
Watch it.
You call this? What do you call this tick? What do you call it?
The nosy tick.
The nosy tick. All right. So you just relax. It's okay. I'm gonna move your arms here. So I'm gonna do is just check. This is a little muscle testing. Okay. So nosy tick. Okay. So this is here. So hold this up. Don't let me push it down. Nice and strong. Say your name.
Jaye.
Jaye. All right. Now say, I'm not nosy.
I'm not nosy.
Hold this up. So what's happening is she's kind of weak, if you can see here.
Okay.
This way. Here we go. So we asked the question, are you nosy? And she's weak. She can't hold this up, right? So she's trying.
Okay.
So maybe we can get her face in here. Can you turn that camera up?
Okay. He's
okay. All right. Good. All right. Okay. So what's happening is the body knows that this body has a problem with nosy. Say your name.
Jaye.
Jaye. Make my pressure.
What?
Nice and strong. No. And now we go nosy. And she's very weak. I'm not even trying very hard.
Oh my God. So petty.
You are.
Y'all making my arm hurt laughing at y'all.
Oh my God. Okay.
Right.
Yes. Okay.
All right. So let's see what this is from. Okay.
Okay. You all, he's helping me with one of my ticks, my nosy tick. So hopefully.
The big tick.
All right, relax your elbows. Relax your elbows. It's okay. There you go. Let them go. They can bend. These elbows bend. There you go.
They work.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So I'm just going to be moving like this here. I'm just getting your energetic feel of what's happening in your body. And it's telling me that various original time conception. So this goes all the way back to conception for you. When you were born, something was going on with your mother.
So it was crazy from the jump.
I quit.
What was happening with mom? Was she married?
No.
She was not married. Okay. No. So this would make her a little agitated, and also people trying to figure out what's going on with her. Mm-hmm. How old was she when she was pregnant with you?
She was 16. She was fast, y'all.
So, I hope your mama watches.
You understand?
So she was watching.
Yeah. So you understand? She was 16. She probably was wondering what the heck is going on. And now people are like, what's going on with you also? And she's trying to like, why y'all in my business? Stay out of my business. But people are getting in her business more and more. Because she's pregnant. They can see something going on, right?
Okay.
Let's just check your body if this is true for your body. Yeah. And then we're going to check this. We're going to have you step in for your mother for a moment. And this is Jaye. And I want you to be the mother. And let's just check mom coming in. And you're even stronger. Okay, which is cool. Is this Jaye now I'm working with? Jaye, and you're weak. Let's say. Okay. So we just switched energy because you're so close with your mother. So we just switched to your mother's energy, mom, and Jaye. And you're weak.
Oh.
Okay. So what just happened, we're working now with your mother's energy just to see what the heck happened. This idea is true that when she was pregnant, people trying to get in and she's like not wanting to say what's really happening. You understand?
Okay.
So people are like, get out my business. She's like, get out, but they're in their business. So the opposites also happen in life. So when somebody may be fighting something, then they actually end up doing the opposite of what it is they're fighting against. So in their case, you're also this whole nosy thing. You can't get enough of it to figure out what the heck is going on. Mm-hmm. This body keeps telling you everything is yes. So it's like, this is right on. So can we release this? Yes. Okay. Okay. Mother. Okay. So can I tap this? Okay, good. I can tap this right out of this.
You are hopefully, if you all are just tuning in, I'm getting my energy read. I'm trying to work on this tick for being nosy. So we'll see what happens. This is good. This is good stuff, you all. Right. Please check out Walter Beckley.
All right. Yeah, WalterBeckley.com. All right. Relax your elbows. Good. All right. Okay. There we go. This is from the liver, spleen. Okay, spleen, pancreas. Hold right here.
Okay.
Meet my pressure. And I can say to you now, being nosy, and you're nice and strong. Being nosy, good. And take this away. Being nosy, and you're weak. So it tells me it's stored in your spleen and pancreas, which deals with worry and concern.
Okay.
Okay. You're just overly worried and concerned about different things, which your mother would have been overly worried and concerned about being pregnant at 16.
Okay.
Okay. So the same energy that you picked up as a fetus. Okay. Release that. Okay. Good. This idea. Okay, good. And I'm going to take this hand. I'm going to put it right here on the forehead. Just relax. And you can turn around just a little bit here. All right, good. Right there.
At least your shape look good.
Now.
Yeah, that was a detox. Woo, Lord.
All right, so now just close your eyes. Now I want you to inhale, exhale, releasing this concept of being nosy, that you're just worried. Inhale, love and light. Smile on your body. Exhale. Just letting out all this worry and concern that you have. You call nosy. Inhale one more time. Inhale. And exhale, releasing. And feel a sense of letting go. Maybe feel a little warmth, maybe feel a tingling going over your body. And smile inside. When you're ready, you can slowly open the eyes.
Hey, y'all.
What'd you notice?
I feel good.
Like something let go?
Yeah, I do, but I still feel like, okay, well, I could just look just a little bit, but we gonna see.
Okay, let's check it. Let me check it and see what happens here, because this is important right here. And his body being nosy, that I do. Body being nosy. Body being nosy. You're more stronger now. All right.
So what does that mean? Wait, so what does that mean when the body got stronger? Does it mean that my body doesn't want to let it go?
No, that means that your body is identified with the fact. Before, when he said, "Are you nosy?" your body said no. It was like lying to itself, saying that it's okay to be nosy. Now the body knows that it's been nosy, so to speak, and you identified it, and you release this concept of being nosy into more of a balanced state.
So then it's really not my fault, since I've had it since, from birth. So it's really not my fault. So it's my parents' fault. So, goodness gracious.
Well,
so that's really not even my tick. That's not my tick. That's their tick. They,
Well, here's the thing. With the energy that we pick up in our lives, it's not that we're blaming the parents in my work. It's about just identifying what you've had to work with. So times people tell me they've been abused or whatever, and then what they realize as we do the work, it could be physical or sexual abuse. They realize that their partner wasn't the fault. Whoever this was that abused them, they realized something inside of them. You came here wanting this connection with your parents, wanting this experience, and even this experience. And so it really gets amazing when you start to see it. People sometimes do the work and they actually see themselves go back, and the connection that they had with the energy at birth. They're inside the womb. They see themselves.
Well, you all, this was just an amazing experience, and I definitely invite you all to definitely have your energy read and definitely work with Walter. I mean, I think I'm going to have to continue this. After all, I feel like, okay, there's maybe another tick that I could want to address after this. Can't address the real big ones because I'm still really too comfortable with those. But you all, please go to his site, walterbeckley.com, and definitely arrange to have a consultation done, and you'll have all the information. But he can definitely, I feel different. Like, I really feel different. Yeah. Like, this is cool. I may have to, I'm gonna have to finish figuring out what's going on. So definitely you want to go to his website, walterbeckley.com, and also his other website, inabadrelationship.com. And he has a free session on how to turn your bad relationship into a new love affair in 30 days or less. So definitely, please, you all go to his site, inabadrelationship.com, and also walterbeckley.com for your reading and work on your tics. Now, I know my tics, so as I said, don't try to judge me because I know I got tics. Y'all worry about your own tics. And don't tell me that's why you single. No, it's another tick on why I'm single. But the hot topic, would you accept a gift? Should you accept a gift, an expensive gift from someone if you're in a relationship? What do you think, Walter? Should a person accept an expensive gift from someone if they're in a relationship?
Their partner's around, then it would make sense, and they're okay with it. It's fine. But if not, then perhaps that gift may have a return date on it. You have something you have to give back or expect it back, even if you don't.
Now, what about you, Precious? Would you?
It depends on the resale value of said gift and the equity that is involved in said gift. If it could be $1,000, and it's like, okay, that's $1,000, but it could be a house, and we just got to work that out.
Now we have Kobe Boating. I'm hoping I'm saying your last name right, Kobe. He said you can receive gifts from friends when you're in a relationship, but let your spouse know it's nothing but friendship. And then we have Anthony Owens says it depends on the type of relationship, friendship you and your partner have, but we all know what type of relationship issues that bring with communication and body language. Now, my thing is, first, it depends on what the gift is. If it's a gift that my mate or spouse can't afford, but I really like it, I'm probably going to accept it and just not tell him about it. and hopefully I don't, get caught enjoying it.
But that's a lie by omission.
How?
Because
if we never talked about it, then it's not a lie.
That's what a lie by omission. That's the very definition of a lie by omission.
Walter, help me out now. If he never asked about it, how is it lying? I'm just enjoying, the $200 gift card from my favorite donut chain, my favorite coffee chain, and I'm just enjoying my coffee every day, and I ain't telling him about it. Am I lying?
Well, that's what most guys will say too about the other chick on the side. It's like, hey,
you ain't never asked me about her.
Yeah, she's been there since
before you in some cases.
Right, but you doing things to her that you should not be doing to her.
He's imagining doing things to you
while he's doing that.
While you drinking that coffee.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna imagine that I'm not the one busting. Well,
see what I'm saying?
No, so I would, depending on the expense, depending upon the gift. Now, if it's something just so extravagant, like a car or expensive jewelry,
you mean the things that are useful and beneficial to the relationship as a whole?
Really? I don't know. What if it was a trip? And he gave me a trip. And so me and my boo, we went on a trip that this other dude. So is that wrong?
No.
Can we not accept that? So why we can accept that, but we don't have to tell them. That's still lying.
Oh, no. Any real dude, you'll be like, hey, so my friends bought us a trip. He'll be like, oh, word, let's go. Like, no real guy is gonna be like, now they might feel they might tell a friend something different, but realistically, I guarantee you he going on that trip. And if he ain't going on that trip, especially if he know he can't afford it, that's he got other issues that ain't got nothing to do with you or the other dude.
So now what if you and your girls just go on a trip and your dude don't go?
I'm telling.
You telling that the friend?
I'm gonna tell a friend and my man, watch.
I don't know where I'm at with that one right there.
My problem, I'm again, y'all have told me that I'm cold-hearted and brutally honest, so it is what it is. But again, for me, let me date somebody and he be like, hey, my ex-girlfriend bought me a trip. Okay, cool. Who's going? Me and you. Word, when we leaving. That's
different.
Okay,
no, it's not. It's the same thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're in agreement with going on a trip with him, and somebody else bought the trip for you, his ex-girlfriend bought the trip, and you two can go.
Yeah, that's what she was saying. Like, so if a friend bought me a trip, and I take my boyfriend, should there be an issue, or should I decline the trip just because another guy bought it for us?
Well, if the boy wants to go, you do want to go.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See now,
but you keep it a secret. That's a whole nother thing. Then because when he finds out, when you go on someplace else, and this guy talking about, hey, how'd y'all enjoy my trip?
See, that's another tick that I may have to address. Yeah. But now, boyfriend wise, I don't know if I would say anything.
Yeah.
But husband, I got to live with this dude for the rest of my life, and I want my house to be peaceful. So I'm gonna have to go ahead on and just tell them, because those are too obligated, to just care about your feelings. And I've made vows, so that's a whole different scenario. But the dating, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna probably pull it. I'm gonna probably pull it.
I think it depends on the level of the dating relationship.
I'm gonna pull it though.
If you're getting laid in that dating relationship and you have a trip out of town, you best tell them and you're gonna go and enjoy your trip and get yourself.
I ain't gonna lie.
Have an open relationship then.
Just knowing me, I'm gonna probably pull it. And
if you're gonna mess around,
I just know I'm gonna probably pull it, because that's just, again, that I do suffer from pettiness. So see,
and I'm the type of person that the type of guys that I like, they would be the type of guys that do to be like, hey, how'd y'all enjoy my trip? And he'd be like, hey, it was cool. Where we going on another one? Like, I can't deal with guys who are, for me, that is an insecurity. I feel like, because I'm the type of friend to where, as a friend, if I'm like, hey, you know what? It's your birthday. We're finna go to Vegas. I'm that friend. So all of my friends have to be that type of friend with me, because I have friends, I kid you not, that will be like, hey, we finna go. And matter of fact, this happened. We finna go on a fishing trip. When you coming? Cool. When is it? All right, cool. Like, that's how I am. Me and my friends do that type of thing. Yeah. So if I can't be with a guy legitimately who is so insecure, because that's like to not understand that. So it's just, for me, that's a deal breaker. Like I don't do jealousy very well, because if you act jealous, then if I feel like I got to act jealous and my jealousy is worse than your jealousy. So we just not going to do that.
Right,
it's like being petty. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Kobe is saying, oh no, you don't receive gifts from X unless you want your current relationship status to be referred to as X. I don't know. Like I say, just in that particular situation, I may, X dating wise, I may pull it. But then that goes to what we were talking about last week, rebound relationships. Now, what is a rebound relationship? A rebound relationship is a relationship in which one becomes involved in a relationship shortly after the previous one ends. So with rebound relationships, what's considered a short amount of time? What's considered too soon, I should say, to enter into something else, to enter into a new relationship? What do you guys consider too soon to start seeing someone else?
I think it deals with the depth of that relationship you're coming out of. So if you got still strong feelings and you're still like doing a little stalking, then and you're still waiting for her to call or him to call, then that may be too soon to go out and involve somebody else into your mess.
Yeah, if you're still bitter about the last dude or chick, man, look, go talk to your mama. Go sit on the couch, let her feed you. Have a drink.
Now, what if they're not bitter? What if they just haven't quite closed that chapter, but they're not bitter? They're trying to move on, but they're not quite there. Should they just remain single and stay out the dating realm, or should they, extend that fishing rod?
Well, I think
you're talking
about the dating realm, and then you're also talking about relationship realm.
Mm-hmm.
So dating realm, they can go out and date and see other people will be okay.
Don't date me.
But don't get into, with that understood. If you want to just go to movies, you go wherever, go to dinner, but don't try to get in a relationship. Because if you do get in a relationship, you may find that you will push your old feelings down, move into a relationship with this person, and then at the opportune moment when you start to
in Jay's situation, she's going to ask the questions and know everything about the ex anyway, so it's not going to be a surprise,
right? I just feel like I just want to I want to know like what happened. To me, it makes me feel like I get to know who he is, because a lot of people, first of all, I don't think a lot of people accept their part in what went in the demise of the relationships. Yeah. Like a lot of times people are so quick to blame the other person.
Right.
Like if I'm guilty of some stuff, I'm a cop to, my mess. Because Walter, I know, listen, I accept there is a plethora of things that I deal with. So I'm going to accept my fault. Now, there's some stuff that I'd have been lied on about. I'm like, nah, fam, that ain't.
How many exes have talked to you about the new guy that you're involved with?
Nah, nobody asked me. And that's great. And that's their fault. But I'm going to ask them.
Yeah. So how many times have you done that?
All the time. I like to always, and I slide it in just like we talking about coffee.
Okay.
Like, so what happened? Really? Okay. So how did that make you feel? Because I want to know who I'm dealing with.
Yeah. So you have a very close circle then, because to get in touch with his ex, he gives you the number? How does that work?
No, I'm asking him.
Oh, you're asking him. That's still going to be based on his stuff.
That's
going to be biased.
Well, the thing is, and what we talked about last week is that, well, no, but and the thing that we talked about last week is that depending on what he says, you legitimately can say, no, okay, this is what you're saying, but I know like this doesn't make sense. Right.
Exactly.
And so you kind of have to judge it and gauge it for yourself to say, you're saying that she cheated. And then the question that Jay asked, that Jay said last week was that whenever he says, oh, this is what happened, she asked, well, what would she say?
Right. Okay.
So.
And that's the thing. Like, I like to know, like, okay, so what type of person are you in a relationship? But then I want to know, like, what do your exes think about you? What do people say about you? And the thing that we talked about last week also was, what makes, a good man or a good woman? And, we caught a lot of, I love it. Y'all bring it on because I'm going to bring it up again this week. So I said that if at in a certain age range,
Mhm.
if no one has told you that you're a good man or a good woman outside of your family member and friends, you probably need to fact check
Mhm.
because you may not be as good of a good man or a good woman that you think you are in a relationship setting.
Right.
Is
right.
that like, is that far-fetched, or am I gonna need to get that tick adjusted as well? Because at some point somebody should have at least I don't care if it's just one person
Yeah.
have acknowledged your value and your worth as far as being a mate or a companion in a relationship.
Yeah, at some
Okay.
point they should have said, "Hey, you're a great chick, you're a great dude, just not great for me right
Right.
now."
Right.
You know.
So is that too far off? Because the brothers was coming for me last week.
Well, but again, it's like what I find is in my work, what I found is that the reality is never really meets what a person is thinking
Okay.
or what emotionally they may be feeling. Because most guys are going to have a bigger ego about themselves than what's really going on. So even if they're having trouble in their lives, it's still going to show up as being
Everything
in
is
control.
all good.
Everything is fine. So it's going to be really hard to find that out, as you work with them. And this is why what's important, I think, and in the work I've been doing, is that people have to not only work with self-development, how to improve themselves, not just with buying things or working a job, but how they think, what they feel, how they've been feeling, what's been going on, what are their goals, where they see, how do they see themselves 5 years down the road, what's going to change that's going to get them down the road, have the relationship, the woman that they're looking at, what's going to be happening in your lives 5 years down, 10 years down the road, 30 years down the road, if you're looking to be in a relationship. Now, if you're just looking to have fun, you don't need to know all that.
Absolutely.
You see?
Absolutely. And fun is really a good thing. You all, we're going to take a short musical break. And when we return, we're going to recap, finish up from last week, rebound relationships, and then we're going to get into our topic tonight, the power of that See, y'all thought I was going to say it, didn't y'all? The power of sexual attraction. You're listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time.
What a peep
about to change my living. About to go get it. Yeah, I'm about to go get it. About to go get it. This is about to change my living. What? I woke up early in the morning. Yeah, I had a bright idea. I woke up early in the morning. Yeah, I had a bright idea. And it's gonna make $1 million. Yeah, it's gonna make $1 million. Yeah, it's gonna make $1 million. Yeah, and I'm about to get it. And I'm about to get it. I woke up early in the morning. Yeah, I had a bright idea. I woke up early in the morning. Y'all just don't know how I feel. And it's gonna make $1 million. Yeah, it's gonna make $1 million. Yeah, it's gonna make $1 million. And I'm about to get it. And I'm about to get it. Y'all, I woke up sitting in my Maserati. Candy paint black, got the big body. Later this evening, I'ma switch up on them. Jump in the back of my Bugatti. Yeah, backseat president, 5-bed resident. Ain't thinking about paying rent. Got skyscraper condos, car for the elevator. Floor won't gon' be bent. See money like water, so I can just spend it. Cause I just invented some shit that's intended to keep on making me that guapa, that guapa, that guapa. Don't know the deal, let's begin. Man, I don't even cook myself. Get washed up coming to America. Got ladies all around like hell. Yeah. Throw my clothes on, hit the hysteria. Yeah. Diamonds on the neck. You see me. Cuban on the wrist. You see me. Born with the fit. But the fit is 8216. Yeah. I had a plan. Now I'm the man. So I'ma take it as far as I can. Gonna cop me a whole island. Straight tropic. Yeah, I'm gonna be out here wildin'. I woke up early in the morning. Yeah, I had a bright idea. I woke up early in the morning, yeah, I had a bright idea. And it's gonna make $1 million. Yeah, it's gonna make $1 million. Yeah, it's gonna make $1 million. Yeah, and I'm about to get it. And I'm about to get it. So fresh and so clean, that's what they say. Yeah. Armani suit and it's tailored to me. Always gonna have some Chuck Taylors on me. Keep a bunch of different flavors on me. Big face, all I want is big face. Yep. That's what keep a hustler in a rich place. Yeah. That's what keep the haters with the shit face. Keep the money coming at a fast pace. Yeah. Got a boat that I Costa Rica. Model on deck, mamacita. Plus there's plenty of room, dozens of meters for when I pop bottles and turn with my people. Hell no, I ain't worried about nothing. Got dogs here to push that button. Plus I got a whole staff on payroll, so I gotta eat like blood. Yeah. Turn my milli silly.
You see me. Mistakes like I'm in Philly. You see me. Running the ghost like I'm Billy. Legend. But I'm a ghetto boy like Willie. What? They trip off the way that I came up. Cause now when I go, private plane up. What? Yeah, red eye anytime of the day I'm on my way. I done stepped my game up, yeah. I woke up early in the morning, yeah. I had a bright idea. I woke up early in the morning, yeah. I had a bright idea. And it's gonna make $1 million. Yeah. It's gonna make $1 million. Yeah. It's gonna make $1 million. Yeah. And I'm about to get it. And I'm about to get it. I woke up early in the morning, yeah. I had a bright idea. I woke up early in the morning, y'all just don't know how I feel. And it's gonna make $1 million. Yeah. It's gonna make $1 million. Yeah. It's gonna make $1 million. Yeah. And I'm about to get it. And I'm about to get it. Go get it. Go get it. Go get it. Go ahead and change your living. Yeah. Get it. Go get it.
Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jaye, and sitting next to me, we have my co-host, my partner in crime, Pretty Precious Bonner. Hey, Precious.
Hey, Jay. Hey,
how y'all
everybody.
doing?
Y'all all right? We're good.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm doing good. You know, I used to have
Today.
those, but I'm doing good. You know, today.
Well, it's E fault. So hi, E. No.
And then next to Pretty Precious Bonner, we have a friend of the J Spot, energy reader, motivational speaker, author, sex expert. He gonna help them get it up, Mr. Walter Beckley. Hey, Walter, how you doing tonight?
Most excellent.
Good. We want to thank you again so much for joining us tonight. This has really been fun. Walter gave me a reading to help address one of the tics that I have, and he discovered that I have a really, really strong reading for being nosy. However, it's not my fault. It's my parents' fault. So we're going to leave it at that. That's not exactly what he said, but that's what I received out of the whole reading. You know, my next one may be denial, that we may want to address that, but right now I'm not ready for that one. Okay. You know, I'm just going to address the
that's why I brought this one.
Oh, darn it.
Got everything for a bow.
The beauty and vanity of denial. Now, see, I like that beauty part. We're going to take off the vanity part and we're going to just address this. But you all, yeah, the beauty, yeah, well, I don't did enough self-reflecting today. Now, next to Walter Beckley, we have huggable, smelling good, handsome, Alvin Lay. Hey, Alvin, how you doing tonight?
Won't you let me lick you up and down?
And I won't say stop. Hey, Alvin, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing wonderful, and yourself?
Good to see you. You know, the ladies on the feed, they've been looking for you ladies. Alvin is here, you know, because I told you every time you're not here, it's always like, you know, she done said something, she done did something. Like last week, they was like, well, let the man speak. Y'all talking too much. We can't even hear what Alvin got to say. So, Alvin, we want to make sure you get to say your piece. Now, before you came in, we were talking about expensive gifts.
Mm-hmm.
Is it okay to accept an expensive gift from someone while you're in a relationship?
Not going to tell me I'm right.
Read the fine print first.
What's that?
Whatever the fine print is.
Okay, so you're not violating the sucker's creed today?
Hold on.
Oh, no.
So, the example that Jay used.
All I got to give is love.
So let's say your ex-chick gave you a trip and was like, I don't care who you take with you. Are you going to tell your girl, hey, my ex-girl paid for this trip?
Where are you at? Who are you? I've never met you before in my life. I like your style.
I'm saying.
You're the type of person I should be with.
I need some exes like that. I promise I do. I'll break up with you every other week. I promise I will.
Well, I said I'm going to accept the gift, you know, in a relationship. And I'm probably not going to tell, you know, where the trip came from. I'll just deal with that. I'll let the chips fall kind of where they lay, if that ever happened, because there's a chance that, you know, you'll never find out that somebody else sent us, you know, on the trip, you know, so why tell it? But in a marriage, I'm probably not going to accept it. And if I do accept it, I'm definitely gonna tell him because I gotta sleep next to this dude every night. Like he know everything, so that's just a whole different.
Think about how much better you would sleep.
You just made me realize something. I paid for a birthday party where my son's mom and her husband hooked up. I just thought about that.
So you done paid for the love connection.
I thought about that. He owe me. I need to go collect.
Wait, so did he know that you had thrown the? But that's different because that's your kid.
I didn't throw it. I just got a phone call. Was like, I want some money. I want to do this, and I'm like, all right, whatever.
Right, but that's different. That's your baby though. So I don't know. That don't.
I wish you would. Won't do that. Not in my backyard. I promise we not. Don't play with me. Now I can introduce you to the chick all day long, but you're not gonna meet at something I done paid for.
If someone's giving a ridiculously expensive gift to that person, the money they're spending for that gift is no different than me going to get a Happy Meal for somebody. So it might either be that or there are contingencies in place. That's why I say read the fine print.
So do you think that? So you're saying that there's an ulterior? Find out why they're giving the said expensive gift.
Okay, put it like this. If a guy called you and was like, hey, I'm going to California. It's going to be on some business, but I got some free time. I want you to come. We can hang out. I'll pay everything. What is going to be your next question?
Right, now, see, now I've had that happen to me.
And what was your question?
So, first of all, do you think I'm sleeping with you? That's the first thing.
Exactly. You're checking the contingency.
Right,
plan.
because here's the thing.
The fine print.
We ain't nothing jumping off. We're not about to go do the horizontal mambo, but I just want to make sure. But, before we get out there, and I talked to him.
And of course, he said we don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
Right.
No, he didn't say we ain't have to do nothing. It was like, no, you already know. Come on, I know you better than that. Yeah, you better know. But again, I need to just get this out there, beforehand. So I talked to the fellas at the barbershop, and that's the reason why I didn't go, because we just had this long drawn out. Well, why you gonna go? If you wanted to go, you should have just went yourself. And why you gonna go take advantage? I'm like, oh, now looking back in hindsight, I should have went. I shouldn't even.
I was gonna say, dudes in this whole taking advantage thing, man, they need to get their life. Like in real life.
They taking it too far. Like we had known each other for a long time. So it's like I felt comfortable and I didn't feel like he was gonna take me out somewhere and try to hit on me, because first of all, he knows me, and he done had to bail me out of some situations where I'm just thankful that we're both not, in the prison system. So, I felt like I could go with him.
So he's really just a friend.
Right, he's really just a friend.
Yeah. And it may very well be the case.
But
see, my question would have been, make sure you get my room on the same floor as yours in case we both get real drunk, so you could tell the people I need my room key. Like it's
right, and see, as far as for me, I don't drink or do any of that. So, the only thing here, and he would like, don't go on my wallet, don't be, stuff like that, because, I've done that to him in the past, But, but we just really had a good relationship. Now, I couldn't do that with a lot of other people, because right. You can sense, which is what we're talking about tonight, the power of that sexual attraction. Now, if there was a strong sexual chemistry, I wouldn't go.
Right.
Because I'm not going to put myself in a situation where, okay.
But I mean, that's just using common sense, though.
He got you all the way out here in another country. Now you got to give it up to get back to the USA.
The devil,
you got to give it up. How he got your passport?
Why he got your passport?
How you getting back home?
Why he got your passport?
I'm just saying.
See, that's a whole nother issue right there.
That's a whole nother. But see, I told you that's what my tick is out there. But the power of sexual attraction. So, what is sexual attraction in you all's opinion? What is sexual attraction?
Walter.
He's the expert, so we gotta.
Well, there's two levels. Okay, one level is dealing with the desire that we have for one another.
Mm-hmm.
Another level of sexual attraction is just the energy that's building up in our pants, both men and women, in the ovaries. So there's a thing that the animals do it. They can sniff, smell, they can sense that there's other animals ready. And the same thing, some women, they get to a place where they got to have it. And men walk around pretty much every day got to have it because they got 50 billion soldiers ready to go out and march.
Just march at any.
Yeah, and you
if my energy don't start in my heart first, it doesn't make it into the nether regions. So
well, that's important. But what we look at, we actually in one of these pictures here, we show that it actually starts in the basic chi energy. Starts. When I showed you about the detail book. Yeah,
show me in a colorful book.
Thank you, Walter.
Show me in the book with the pictures and the people.
Now, while Walter is getting that, I'm going to tell you, according to an online source, sexual attraction is when you're attracted to someone sexually and want them only to sexually please you or something of the sort. So they just want to do all kinds of nasty stuff to you. Just do the flat out just nasty. Now, what are some things that can cause a person to be sexually attracted to someone? Because I think it's different for everyone.
Yeah.
If you ain't had none in a while.
What about you, Alvin? What do you think are some things that causes a person to be sexually attracted to someone?
It's that pretty brown round.
Now, Walter, do you have the diagram for
so the energy basically starts in the nether regions.
In the South Virginia area, you are. Yeah. That's the South, down south.
And then it goes up to the heart level. Okay. Then from the heart level, when you learn to cultivate it, what we call transmute this energy, it goes up into what we call the shin or spiritual. It develops a higher level. So, for instance, most people only deal with sex in a lower level. So, for instance, most men are only having sex to ejaculate. Women would like to have an orgasm. Another level of sex would deal with having to move that energy out of that area and have an orgasm in the heart. And this is where a person may actually they may cry, experience some type of release that takes place because the energy just hits the heart and starts to release a lot of the pain. And at the same time, when the pain goes, more joy comes in.
So what you're saying is the sex may not have even been that good at all. You just needed that release. It was a chemical.
Yes.
Fellas, I'm sorry to take this away from you. So if she was crying, doesn't mean that it was good. It just means that it was something that she was dealing with on an emotional level. And the chemicals and the toxins that got
and likewise, out. That doesn't mean he's a sucker if he cries during sex. He's just emotional at that time.
What happens is the dopamine gets released in the brain, and that's what gives you this craving, wanting to do it again. So people become more addicted to sex because of that quality. They even get addicted just watching porn because it releases these chemicals.
Now, I'm more of a demisexual.
Okay.
Now, a demisexual is a person who does not experience sexual attraction unless they form an emotional connection.
Yeah.
I mean, my hoo-ha and my heart is connected. It's just one channel. So if you ain't reached here, trust and believe me, I'm not all hot and bothered. I don't care how good you look. If I'm not feeling you, and that takes time to get to know someone. If I'm not feeling you heart-wise, that's why I'm not an easy win, because it's all connected. Like my hoo-ha, my heart, same thing. Heart, hoo-ha, just one channel, one valve. And that's how I am. So it's like I'm not a one-night stander. I'm not a one-night stander because it's like, okay, dude, I don't even know you. Like, are you going to take care of my heart? Are you going to take care of my those are the things that get me.
You know, it's so funny. Like, I've never had a one-night stand a single day in my life. And when I say that, people always think I'm lying or think I'm being funny, but I'm not. I've never had a one-night stand. Like, I tell people all the time, I believe in having sex properly. You know, when you are having sex properly, it's a different type of energy. It's not that, oh, I'm gonna just knock this down real quick. Don't get me wrong, I'm good at that one too. But the thing is in order to get to a space to where I allow you to be that person that I can do that with, we have to get somewhere else.
Right.
And so, you know, you have to have some type of an attachment or whatever to that person. Like, it just doesn't work right.
Right.
It just doesn't.
Now, have you all ever been so sexually attracted to someone that it literally took your breath away? Like, I mean, woo, baby, you talk about energy. You can feel that energy.
There's
I mean,
such a thing as a female sucker's creed, and I am going
it's
to invoke that particular thing at
it's
this
so
moment.
strong that you are just like, oh my gosh, I can't. Somebody get an usher. I need an usher up in here
You gotta
because
walk out like this.
I cannot take it. Have you all ever experienced that, Alvin? You know, I see
Is
you.
this based on an initial meeting of a person, or
It could
just
be at
being
any
present with the person?
period, whichever situation. Just have you ever felt that charge where it's so strong, you can, it's in the air, like it man, you can suffocate somebody. It's so strong.
I've had a couple of experiences where I lost complete control of my sexual self, and I cannot control what my body was doing. I've had a couple of experiences like that.
Really? Now, what about you, Walter? Have you ever, or has anyone ever come to you, explain it to you? Man, I was so attracted to this person, like it literally took my breath away. Like you can feel it in the air. Can you feel sexual chemistry and attraction in the air?
Oh, absolutely. Matter of fact, in the classes that we teach, we can have group sex without taking our clothes off, because once we raise the vibration, what happens is it becomes like very tangible. Sexual energy is very tangible. It's one of the most powerful energies known.
You don't know this
physically. Yes.
Yes.
Now, have you ever experienced that type of connection with somebody or attraction?
Not on first meeting them. Absolutely not. I don't.
Period. Just at any point. Now, I'm gonna tell you why you think about yours. I'm gonna tell you. I have when man, this guy. I'm telling you, it was so strong. I promise you. And we had never slept together, but it was so. I'm telling you, a little kid. If they would have ran through that, you would have got just sliced right in half. Like, you know, now those are the type of people I stay away from. I'm like, no, I'm straight. Cause see, when it's that strong, in my opinion, that's how you get turned out. I don't even want to deal with nobody that I have an attraction to that strong like that. I'm not.
You know what? I dated.
I got too much work to do.
I dated this guy, and it's so funny because he didn't have the largest member or anything like that, but
no baby down.
No, I don't do babies.
He was just okay.
I like grown ups. I like grown ups. But no, it's one of those things where, especially when it comes to sex, we all have our preferences, right? We all have the things that we like. And we were very, very compatible, meaning the things that I liked, he liked, and I didn't have to tell him the things that I liked. That was interesting.
I mean, like I say, with this guy, I could just remember it just like it was yesterday. And I just was saying to myself, yep, he's like off limits. I just cannot, I won't deal with him. And the reason why is because the other parts of him wasn't right. And I can see, you know what? I can see myself having to revert back to my old ways, being in bushes and you're just doing stuff that I'm like, okay, listen, I don't have time to be sitting up and he ain't calling and I don't have time for that, you know. So I just went on ahead and, you know what, let me go ahead on.
See, people like that, you just revert them to serving their purpose in the universe. Like, you don't got to talk to them.
No, but see, but again, I don't have, there's no disconnect for me. It all means the same thing. We horizontal mamboing, we together. That's in my mind, but see, that's where their problems come in. I've
recently reached that place. I do that now. However,
and I acknowledge that, and that's why I stay in my lane. Like, I'm not a person that can separate it. I'm not a casual sexer. I can't separate it. I'm not even trying to separate it. And so when I see that that's what these guys, that's his thing, I just go ahead on the other way and we can be cool. You ain't got to never call me. I prefer that we never talk because it's just too much going. I just see all gray. It just don't look good for me at all. And I'm not trying to go there. So have you ever dealt with someone where the energy was so strong that you said, you know what? No, this ain't what I want. This ain't what I want. Alvin, have you ever had to turn down a brown round? Because it was too, you just like, man, I can't even trust that butt right there. I ain't gonna be able to trust that butt right there.
I just knew it was similar to your situation. I just knew it was going to turn out bad.
I love the terminology, just FYI.
That brown round, it'll have you. I mean, it's just.
I knew it was going to turn out bad. From experience, I knew it was going to turn out bad. The experience that I had that landed me in lockup, I knew whenever I sense a certain thing about a person, that's trouble. As beautiful as it is, I will appreciate it from a distance, but I know better than not to cross that line.
How did booty get you in jail, though? I don't understand that.
That's a long
How you
story.
doing crazy stuff? So you've never dealt with someone that you just have done some things that now looking back, you like, man, I shouldn't have even done that.
It's so funny for me. The craziest thing that I've ever done, I've recently been told that it really ain't crazy. And because I know myself, I'll get disappointed in myself for allowing the behavior because I know it and I see it. And so I don't get overly like, I don't do the bushes thing.
See, that's why I love you, because you can just rationalize things. I look back, I'm like, man, and then here's when you gone when you got other people involved with you. You got your cohort. You're like, come on, we going. So I got my sister in the bush. I swear, we down there looking like, oh no, I done rolled through alleys, different cars, just. I've done so much. I'm not ashamed. I mean, listen, it is what it is. I can teach my son what to look out for.
The most I might do is ride up your block one time. The most I might.
See, I'm not doing that. Like, and that's the crazy thing to me. I feel like if I'm in a space with somebody, I don't care how amazing the sex is. I don't care how amazing I think the sex is going to be. I don't care how amazing the sex was. If I feel like I have to talk to another female about your behavior, I'm not talking to you no more. For what?
Now, I would never do that. The only way that can end is somebody getting their behind whooped.
Well, like I said, I've been involved in all of them. I done fought. It's just all kinds of. Now, looking at me, no, you do not think that I'm not that type. As I said, I look like the type that'll be fighting. Yeah, but I've been redeemed, you all. Because
it actually happened to a friend of mine.
What, the fight?
Well, it didn't end in the fight. My friend was at work. He worked around a young lady who was going through problems in a relationship. Him being the type of person that he is, he poked at it. He would call her boyfriend Jody because he would.
Oh, that's petty. Oh, that's petty.
He would drop her off in her car and then go spend the rest of his day hanging with whoever.
That's her fault.
So he would poke at the bell. And so she became curious. And they did whatever they did. But where it went sideways, she would come to him for advice. So she would take his advice home and say, my friend told me. My friend said we should do this. My friend said you stupid. And so one day this guy just gets fed up and he comes and put a job and was like, hey, man, I need you to, you talk to my lady. And my friend had a civilized conversation with him. He was like, well, first, let me explain this to you. If you have a problem with me, I'm the wrong person. You need to take that up with your lady because, that's where your problem is. But if you want to take this forward and address it with me in a physical manner, first understand that when I'm done whipping your behind, you're going to jail because you brought this to my job. Mm-hmm. And then secondly, just out of spite, I'm going to go and do what you think I did to your lady, just so you can live with the fact of knowing that I did it without having to question it.
Well, then.
See, I would do that. I can't even lie. Like, I'm petty. I would. Ladies, please don't ever do that to me.
Before it was all said and done, he was asking my friend for advice.
Now the thing about me is like with having the J spot and we do the Dear Jays and all that. One thing that I've learned, I don't give relationship advice because people, a lot of times are so quick to want to say, well, This person said this person said that. So I like to just keep advice in a general, format, and let's just everyone talk, and you read through the comments and you figure out and you choose whichever one works best for you. But the last thing you're gonna do is screenshot something that Jay said, and now I gotta go back and say, oh well, Jay told me to leave you, because there's been plenty of times that I just want to say, like, okay, he cheating, she's cheating, why, that ain't even your baby, why are you still? But again, the technology and screen savings and fights and stuff, listen, I can't heal as fast as I used to. Okay.
I can't fight
all that stuff. Listen, if I decide I want to have at least one more kid, I done lost like 12 ovaries coming up the stairs in here today. So, my window is closing. So I don't have all of that energy to exude in fighting and all that. I'm trying to save my ovaries. So when I see them on TV doing all this fighting, I know they 30 plus, I'm like, girl, you just done lost like 12 kids right there doing all this fight. What is
if you fighting on TV, you don't need no kids. You see,
right? I'm like, you just losing them. Your ovaries, your toxin level just so high, you just killing. And now you got to go to the fertility clinic and all. Hey, stop all that fighting and drink you some tea, and maybe get your mind right and take a few of Walter breathing techniques and get it together so that you can properly have some kids. But I ain't on all that.
It's so funny. I had this conversation with a friend of mine the other day, and it was, of course, about being attracted to people and things like that. And we were talking about this guy, and she was like, I don't understand, like, how in the world can you like him? Because he's not very attractive, but he is I have some of the absolute best conversations I've ever had in my life, as far as being mentally stimulating. And it's one of those things where I don't like him as in I'm going to marry him, because see the way some of his physical attributes is set up, I ain't going. But
in a good way or a bad way,
and it don't matter. It ain't going. Okay. Not never, not a now, not a never. No, like Day. It ain't going. Like Day and Baby D, I'm not doing.
Wait, can you be sexually attracted to someone that you consider unattractive?
Absolutely.
How?
Yeah.
Because it is all. Because here's the thing, though. That's what I was gonna say. Like, it has nothing to do with what that person physically looks like. Again, I like average looking people. Like, if you overly cute, man, you can't talk. Like, you can't take me to a black tie thing. We can't even go see the boogeyman. We can't even go see the boogeyman. If you too cute, I can't do it. Yeah. Because if we're having sex and it's a mirror, I feel like you looking in a mirror at you and not at me. I can't do that. So absolutely, like, I like a nice average looking guy. So if you're not fit, what I think is average looking, trust me, I know someone like, oh my God, girl, he's so cute. And I'd be like, bro, where? So, physical attractiveness is 100% in the eye of the beholder.
See, now that's going to rank right on up there after we have the emotional heart-to-heart connection. If you're not easy on the eyes, that kills.
Heart-to-heart.
If you ain't easy on the eyes, because here's the thing. You said when you turning the lights off, I mean, all I can imagine is hearing it. I don't want to hear that. If I don't feel like that's where my mind is. So now
that is the sound of love making. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, between what?
Hey, Bruno Mars got this song like called Gorilla. I'm gonna just throw that out there.
No. Like, it's just like, again, some tics that I deal with. But if you don't sound right, like, it's so much that goes into this that
I dated this guy that breathed weird. Like, it was so funny. Like, I can't even say how I figured out he breathed weird, because he gonna know who I'm talking about. But when I tell you this dude breathed weird, like his even just in everyday conversation, it was like you cool and all, but I don't want to hear you breathe. Like, I can't sleep beside you because you sound funny.
Now, and here's the thing, like, because that was something very petty, Precious. So I'm going to follow suit after that. That was very petty. So I'm going, because I got one too. Now, there's this guy, he thinks he's just God's gift. But see, he foams when he talks. He foams at the mouth, and it's like, I don't know what it's called, but when all of this crap just gets right here in the side of your cheeks, and it's It's the most disgusting thing ever. And I'm just like, are you about to have a seizure, or, is something going, like, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And he's just constantly talking. And he swears that he is just the end all be all. And I'm just like, God, I mean, he reminds me of that dog off Beethoven. Like, all this it's just too much.
So here's the thing, though. Let's say you talk to this guy. Maybe like you get to know him without physically being in his presence. So you don't know this. And like you can be attracted to his conversation.
And the moment you see him talking, it cuts all of it. It cuts it all off. Like, oh, there's this guy. Oh my God. He has a very sensual voice. I found myself, calling his phone so many times, but that was just to let people listen to his voicemail to see how his voice, just so strong. And I mean, you would think that he's 6'4", 6. He's a troll, you all. I'm sorry. Okay, well, he's a munchkin. Like, I don't know. Like, people were really disappointed. I'm just like, I mean, he has, and I talk to him every day, like, cool people. Really? But I'm like, he would be the one. He's the reason why I would not date online. Because talking to him, the anticipation is building. Oh, I can't wait to meet him. Then you go to open the door, you looking for him. Like, oh, what?
And this is one of the things that's funny to me. Whenever like a guy starts talking to me, they'll always ask me, how tall am I? As if I'm not going to ask you, how tall are you? Right?
That's a setup.
But that's the funny thing, because only short guys ask you, how tall are you? And so as soon as I hear that question, I'm just like, why are you even asking me? Like, first and foremost, like, I got pictures online, bro. Like, how tall, I'm taller than you. So what you asking me for? Like, come on. Anyway, okay.
Now, so have any of you all ever been sexually attracted to someone that you should not have been sexually attracted to?
Absolutely.
I end up locked up.
How so? Explain yours.
Mine is just quite frankly, I knew it was going nowhere, but it just is what it is. It was what it was, man. Like,
what about for you, Walter?
Well, we both lived in different countries, so, and I knew that I wasn't going to move there, and so I didn't know if she was going to try to move here, but I had no goal.
But what made it wrong? Like, what made it why you shouldn't have been attracted to that person?
Because I knew that we would fall for each other.
And there was no future, right?
Yeah.
What now, Alvin? How did yours almost land you in jail?
No, I was locked up.
Well, for me, there was this guy, man, fine as all outdoors. Now, I had been knowing him for years. And he had always been just flat out just sexy. And so maybe a year or so ago, we started talking, this social media stuff, I swear, will have you just in all kinds of trouble. But we started talking, and, he was like really, 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 really coming at me. And then I discovered he was married. And I mean, when I tell you, he was pouring it on so thick that, I felt myself falling. I'm like, dang, man, I mean, he gave me like an indecent proposal type thing. Like, and from his conversation, I knew that he was a serial cheater. I mean, because he had it down packed, like what he wanted to do and how this whole thing would work out. He had too many specifics for me. And I'm just like, you know what? At the end of the day, I don't share and I don't do number two. So that's the thing. So it doesn't matter how much you say, whatever the fantasy, all of this stuff, it's still a no-go for me because I don't do the cheating thing. Like, I'm not going to be nobody's secret. I'm not going to do, so that's the thing that kept me on the straight and narrow. But I'm gonna tell you, I definitely had to just revert back to all of my values and my morals and all this and that, because I'm like, yeah, I because I was almost a goner. I was almost a goner. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm like, and the way I had to just, disconnect from him, social media and things like that, because he was just coming too strong, and he wasn't even an ex. So I just, I had to kind of just.
And see, that brings me to my
let
question
that
for
go.
you, Walter. How do you dismiss a sexual attraction?
Why
How do you? Why
if it's inappropriate, like if they're married?
So I entertain it. How do you convert that energy into something else?
That's the key.
Mm-hmm.
You convert the energy and you transform it into something else. Doesn't mean that the energy is bad because you feel attraction for someone or somebody feels an attraction towards you, but it's how you handle the energy, and that makes a difference. And so most people don't know how to transmute energy. So it's very important that we learn how to actually take our sexual energy. Like I told you before, I've been in groups where I teach, and people are in the room. It can be 15, 20 of us in the same room, clothes on, but the sexual energy is there. It becomes really high evolved, and people can use that energy for doing whatever they want. So, Napoleon Hill wrote a book called Think and Grow Rich. The secret to that book is in chapter either 9 or 11. It's about transmuting sexual energy. He says you have to have high-level sexual energy. You have to have people around you that are sexually, or secretary or whatever, that comes in. You don't have to have sex with them, but you have to have that attraction that you can take that energy and utilize it and channel it into something else. So when you understand sexual energy, it's the only energy that can multiply itself. All the other energies that you deal with stay the same. They just sort of like increase and decrease. Sexual energy can multiply and do what? Create another human being.
So now let me ask you this. So when being in a relationship or even married, is being sexually attracted to someone else, is that considered cheating? If you're married or in a relationship, but I mean, every time you like, oh,
the attraction
my goodness,
is not cheating. It's what you do with
like
it.
He can get it. Like whenever you think you see him, you're like, man, he can get it. She can get it. Is that considered cheating?
As long as you only think it, no.
Yeah, what a person thinks, nobody can control. What a person does with what they think, and if they're sitting there having fantasies and things like that, then what's going to eventually, they're conjuring up something to happen, or they're even conjuring up a break between them and their partner. So all of a sudden the partner feels more disconnected while this person is thinking about this other person. So now your relationship is not going to be as great as it could be.
So now when being in a relationship, and if you are sexually attracted to someone else, should you confess that to your spouse or your mate?
Depends on where your spouse and your mate is at. Because if you're open,
meaning where, like where they at mentally or physically?
Whether mentally and emotionally, or whether they're open to really hearing and being.
Bring your mate to see Walter.
Yeah.
Alvin, what do you say? If you're attracted to someone else and you're married or in a relationship, would you confess that to your spouse or mate?
The next time I get into a relationship, it's going to be open enough in communication of where, as I feel comfortable enough letting my mate know.
What about you, Precious? Would you confess it? That ain't no answer.
We're going to go see Walter. That's what we're going to do.
So now wait, so would you want to know if your mate or your spouse was sexually attracted to someone else? Would you want to know?
I would, absolutely.
Why is that?
Because I am curious enough to want to know what it is about that person that you find attractive. Just again, because I like people who mentally stimulate me. So it would 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be something as stupid, or that what I consider stupid as a physical attraction. It's not going to be, oh my gosh, she has a nice butt. Okay, cool. Really? Go buy you a booty. Go play with it. Like that doesn't make sense to me. Especially for you to have a strong enough of an attraction to feel the need to say something about it. It has to be like, we talk at work a lot and it's just really cool. And I like how, we get to hang out or something. But okay. And I'm the type of person to where I'd be like, well, what do you feel cool about it? And I have to be with somebody who can who can truly verbalize whatever it is, because I'm not jealous enough of a person, because I tell people all the time, leave me, man.
But that's the type of energy that'll put someone in a place where, okay, that's my lady. And we could talk to each other about a lot of stuff, but these things I'm not going to bring up because it's going to cause
conflict.
It's going to cause conflict.
Yeah.
And most guys inside of a relationship are all about conflict resolution, not about the experience. A lot of women want you to live in this experience with them. And a guy's like, okay, how we fix this? How do we move on?
Yeah.
So the best thing for me to do is not even discuss how I feel in these areas. I've been in a relationship where I lended myself to that so much where I lost myself. And well, what do you want to do? I don't know, whatever you want to do. Where you want to go? I don't care, wherever you want to go. It don't matter. Whatever's going to make you happy, that's what we're going to do. So we don't have to deal with any type of conflict. And so again, that's the reason why I said, if I can look at a pretty brown round and even mention it to you, and it's not about being disrespectful, but it's just about having a healthy conversation about how I feel about something that I see. If I can't have that conversation with you, why are we even together?
Well, if you're sexually attracted to someone other than your mate or your spouse, you may want to kind of just try to have a little conversation with them. I'm not saying to confess, because let's just be honest. I mean, everybody can't handle all of that. So and this is where it comes, how well do you know your mate? You know what makes them tick and what makes them don't. But if it's bothering you, or not even bothering you, but if you sleep and you thinking about a brown round and it ain't the one that you laying next to, then that may be where you want to definitely have that conversation. But again, that's your relationship. You got to judge your people tick for what it is, but definitely do whatever you have to do to get it out your system. Because if you especially if you're seeing them all the time, I mean, all it takes is the right moment. Now you just had an affair. So time and the opportunity, because it's like you're constantly thinking about it. And like I say, the attraction, and it's just in the air, and it can cut it. And if you ain't broke it off, if you ain't cut that thing at the root, somebody gonna be in trouble. So you have to, play the odds and weigh your options and say, is it better for me to tell my mate and we get it over with, or me keep it to myself and we cheat?
I think that a huge part of that is about being able to understand what it is that you think and what you feel, and being able to explain it and have the conversation and say, okay, well, babe, I really, really enjoy having dinner with this person.
And we just got to find out what works for your relationships. But you all, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. You have definitely been listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time, on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. Peace out. Good night, everybody. Right. Thank you all so much. Thank you for tuning in, you all. Thank you.
Thank you for hitting the J Spot on IntellectualRadio.com.